Recording in progress.
We'll call the meeting to order, and we'll start with the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. If the secretary would take the roll call.
Yep.
Get in here.
Roll call.
Did you call my name?
Yeah.
Oh, here.
Frank,
Here.
Tom,
Here.
Doug,
Here.
Pam. Here. Me.
Here. Okay, thank you. And introduction to the public members?
I'm Greg Erpenbach.
His wife, Lean Erpenbach.
Welcome.
Laura Drager.
Welcome back, Laura.
Evelyn Piper.
Welcome back to you too. Okay, just a couple of remarks before we get started. Any member of the public may be heard on any subject that is not on the agenda. The board will not take action on those items at this time, but may choose to add them to the next meeting agenda for discussion. So right now, I would ask if anybody in the public has any comment that isn't on anything that's not on the agenda. Okay. During the course of the meeting, public will be asked for comment after board discussion and before the vote. So at that point in time, just raise your hand, and once you're recognized, please come forward, state your name, and you may start speaking then. You'll have one opportunity to speak on any agenda item, but only one. And ask that you hold it to 2 minutes or less, if you would. So, we'll start with the approval. Oh, Frank, yes.
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion to move number 1 on old business forward at this time. And that is, the district determined that it is the best interest of the district, its customers, and its operations to settle the Ellis lawsuit and thereby temporarily modify District Resolution 1523 to recognize and receive Pam Ellis to the County Employment Board seat with the enactment of this resolution until December 31, 2024, at which time the county appointed seat shall be eliminated and District Resolution 1523 shall be declared in full force and effect.
Thank you, Frank. Do I have a second on the motion?
I'll second it,
Seconded by Tom.
but then I'd like to amend it to add, under the consent agenda, monthly prepaid bills be removed, since there was none in the agenda. And monthly payable bills, since there's 2 in the agenda packet, be added to the consent agenda.
Do I have a second on that?
I'll second it.
Kind of get two motions going at one time.
We have an amendment and a motion.
Amendment, put the motion on it, yes. So we'll start with the amendment. Is there any discussion from the board on the amendment? Public comment on the amendment? Seeing none. Your amendment again was to move, strike
Remove
the monthly pay.
prepaid bills and add the monthly payable bills, because they're in the packet.
Okay. All in favor of amendment to strike the monthly prepaid bills and add monthly payable bills, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Aye, I'm for it.
Thank you. The amendment has passed. Now back to the original motion as amended. So original motion was approval of resolution 009-24. Moving that to the front for discussion. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimous. Okay, so we'll deal then with the resolution 9-24 for start. Are there any comments from the board? Seeing no comments from the board, are there any comments from the public? Making it very easy, so all in favor of resolution 009-24 signify by saying aye.
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 Motion passes unanimously.
Is there a motion and a second given?
Yeah. Who made the, Frank made the
Frank.
motion.
I made the
Tom
motion.
seconded it.
Tom seconded it.
That was
And
the previous motion.
that was
No,
the
then
motion
Tom-
and the
Tom made
amendment.
the motion to amend, and Pam seconded it.
I mean, yeah, but the original resolution was
Was Frank
Seconded
and then
by
Tom.
by Tom, yeah.
Now, you pass that.
And that motion was to move old business number 1 to that position, and then we just now voted on the 00924 resolution.
Right.
And it got passed, so we just passed 3,
Motion.
one resolution and amended motion and a motion.
Second item on the agenda then is under the consent agenda.
No, minutes.
A minute.
Oh, the minutes, we gotta jump back up. I only go one direction. Are there any additions or corrections to the minutes?
I found you right here, Mr. Chairman.
The only correction I would make is it just has one set of minutes, and there's 2 set of minutes in the agenda packet. So it seems like they're technically on the agenda, so we technically should approve both of them.
Tom?
I move we accept the minutes as presented of both the March 20th meeting and the March 26th meeting.
I second it.
26, and seconded it. Discussion? Public comment? All in favor of set minutes from March 20th and then March 26th, please signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, same sign.
I said aye.
Motion passes unanimously. Now we'll move back down to the consent agenda.
I have a separation for the consent agenda. I'd like to separate the Felt Martin bill.
We have a second.
Which bill, Tom?
The Felt Martin bill for $3,400 odd.
You don't have to have a second to separate.
Two separate, it's just separate.
Okay. We'll pull that out.
I move to accept the consent agenda less the Felt Martin bill, including the payroll and payroll items that were in the packet.
Brent?
I have a question, Mr. President, this new statement here on the budget.
Yes.
I don't know how that correlates with page 19 on the financial part that was, let's see, it says Billings Heights Water District income statement. And it's got capital improvements, other expenses. This month we spent $46,426 on our capital improvements. What capital improvements did we spend $46,000 on?
The capital improvement, that's the engineering bills, the 960, 970, and all those, so it's the project epic, task order 28, task order 29.
Is that where engineering costs would actually go, is on capital improvements?
That's where we've always had them, that's just where we kept them, try and keep everything,
Part of the capital improvement.
yeah.
It's part of the price of the capital improvement.
All right,
And that-
Mr. Chairman, it would be like when you build a building, the architect's fees are capitalized as part of the business
part of this business.
and then written off over.
Frank, if you look at the new piece that came out this evening, on page 2, other expenses.
other expenses. Yes, you got project engineering and capital outlay, improvement to the plant. So what was it, 7,000 for improvement there?
Yeah, that should have been, this, I think that was, the remainder of what was going on the coronation, was it not?
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was,
That was the smallest.
that one, that's 930 has to deal with that chlorination station, ARPA grant stuff. That's just how we had them. It started back with Peyton. He stuck 930 as the task order 26, I think it was, for the chlorination station. The 970 is task order 28 and 29. So it's just where we could kind of keep everything separated.
So the chlorination billed 6,017 and, excuse me.
You wanna say something?
Yeah, so chlorination billed $6,017, and then the second bill for chlorination was $1,357. So that was not anywhere near the bulk of that huge fee. But can I make a request at this point to put the interstate engineering bills on the discussion for the work session in May? I
Normally
mean-
we normally make those requests toward the end of the meeting.
Okay, I wasn't
But
sure where to
that's-
make them, so.
Don't have any place to write them down right now.
Okay, yeah, I wasn't sure where to do it.
Okay, any other discussion on,
Did we have a second on Tom's motion?
We just separated, and so we haven't gone any farther than that. You don't need most of the vote to separate.
We
Right.
moved to accept the consent agenda.
accept the consent?
No. Was there a second on it?
No, so the motion died.
I'll second it for purposes of discussion.
It has now been moved and seconded. for you
Good
to-
catch, yeah.
And you moved it.
Yeah, it should have died from all the discussion without a second. The motion should die.
Now is there discussion on that? And discussed it as before.
That's consent, there's no discussion.
Any public comment? Seeing none, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Hi.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Passes unanimously. Now we'll move to the segregated Felt Martin bill.
Do we have to have a motion to discuss it, or?
Mm-hmm.
If you want me to make the motion, I move we reject the Felt Martin bill.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a substitute motion that we pay the Felt Martin bill.
Okay, there's,
I'll second Jeff's motion.
it's been moved and second to, pay the Felt Martin bill. Discussion? Tom?
Some time ago, we had a major discussion about the general manager going to the lawyer all the time for opinions without board consent. We have now a $3,400 plus bill where Phil Martin has been asked for opinion again without board consent. This is just not right. That was the big discussion when we hired Felt Martin, that Felt Martin would be hired to work for the board. Not the board chair, not the GM, but the board. And when the board's not consulted and we have a $3,400 bill, it's not proper, and it's kind of hypocrisy from our previous discussions. That's why I separated it.
Mm-hmm.
I think there should be a major discussion on how we move forward. Are we gonna continue this policy, or is this lawyer gonna be hired by the board? The entire board, not
Okay,
just one person.
Tom, if you look at the date, on the bill, February 26th, when did we hire Felt Martin?
I don't recall.
At the February board meeting.
Right.
And what was on here was to review the annexation map and policy changes for the city. These are the first two things to go to him. The first two things to go to him.
Well, if I
And-
may,
So go ahead.
I have here what Felt Martin sent back. The summary opinion clearly says, based on the facts and analysis from the materials submitted, Well, I can read those materials and I come up with the same result. Anybody can read those materials and will come up with the same result. We don't need a lawyer just to read materials. We need a lawyer for the whole thing. If he's only looking at the materials we presented, it's a waste of time. If he's looking at it for a reason, that's different. But just to look at what's presented and nothing more, to get an opinion, we're competent to make those decisions ourselves off of the equipment, the information we have. We don't need someone else to tell us that,
Okay.
in my opinion.
Further discussion? Yes, Jeff?
I'm gonna support my motion. I do think Tom is correct, we probably should have a discussion on process for what goes to the board and under what circumstances. Certain matters, you know, we can discuss whether, for example, employment agreements should go to the board and the chairman should have the discretion to, you know, do that without board approval. We can draw the line wherever we want to. But I think we can add that to the list for May when we get there. But, you know, in terms of the amount of money this district is spending every month, particularly with respect to, you know, $4,000 engineering bills a month, for example, which seem to flow through here without a blink of an eye or much discussion, or work product here. You know, I think this is to understand exactly where the boundaries of the district are. You know, before members of this board just got appointed to a study committee, a discovery committee on consolidation is an important task. We need to know that. There's differences of opinion have been expressed already on that fact. This is information we need, and we can, but I recognize Tom's concern about a problem, and I think we'll address it, and I'll agree with that, but I think we need a payment of this bill.
Can I mean, my question is just, is that an accurate statement? Did it go from Josh to the attorney without any input from any board
No,
member?
it went from me to the attorney.
Oh, okay. Okay, so,
And I was asked by a couple of board members to do that. So, you know, unless we call a special meeting to do something like that. And again, I have it down for me, work session to discuss a policy change. So we can figure out how we're gonna do it from this point forward. But I do believe that we owe Felt Martin the bill. I authorized it. I guess if the board won't pay it, I will have to pay it. That will get you back one way or the other. Tom?
Well, I'm not gonna argue on that, Jeff, and you, I agree. I didn't know how else to bring the matter up, rather than to separate the bills so that we can flat discuss it and decide where we're going in the future. I agree, the bill needs to be paid.
Okay. Any more other board discussion, public discussion? Laura?
Laura Drager, Heights Water resident. It was my understanding during the February meeting that that was part of the scope of work that we wanted assigned to the attorneys, because at the time we were discussing whether or not to have that additional access to the water over on the Glen Eagles area. So I'm speaking in favor of paying the bill.
Okay. Further discussion? Ming, did you have something?
I just think we have to pay the bill, and it's billed out, and that's, it's a bill.
Okay. So
What are
it's,
we gonna do, not pay the bill and lose Felt Martin same time?
yeah. It's been moved and second to pay the monthly bill to Felt Martin. All in favor of said motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Right?
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes unanimously. Managers report. Josh?
It should be pretty quick. Most of my items coincide with other agenda items. I'll far as engineering update, that was in the packet for everyone to read. If there's any questions on that. We have the Wicks Lane replacement, talking with Terry, he's got some quantities on the concrete, he was just waiting on prices, and temp water should start next week. We are having trouble with the receipt printer up front. It's 18, 20 years old at least. It's just, it stops working. And Jen and Susie have spent a couple of days on the phone with Black Mountain and Morrison Merrily trying to troubleshoot, and it's shot. So we got a quote on a new one today, $995 for the printer that hooks to the computer for the receipts for the billing.
How about that brand new printer we got? Won't it do billing, or is it,
This is for the little receipt tape stuff that,
just they come through like for the
Drive-through
and
and-
stuff
yep.
like that? Okay.
Is that a P? What type of printer is it exactly?
it's like when you go through Costco and they print you the receipt.
Cash
It's
register.
one of those, a cash register.
Little one?
Yeah, it's smaller.
And what is the cost of the roll of that little paper? Is it paper?
It's thermal paper.
Or, you know, just the standard.
The thermal printer, cash.
Yeah.
You keep the receipt very long, pretty soon you can't read it.
Just lay
So
it down.
that was hot off the press today.
And what was your estimate on that again?
$995.
$1,000. You're gonna get a roll of paper too, aren't you?
I think that, does that fit the paper that we already have? Yeah. So we've got it.
We've got paper.
I make a motion that we authorize.
Well, I'd like some more discussion on this. You know, thermal paper is a tool of the past. You go to Ace Hardware, for example, and you want a receipt there, you get it on an 8.5 by 11-inch paper. You can buy those printers a lot cheaper, and you don't have to buy that expensive thin paper. So, you know, maybe we just need to switch our receipt fund to a cheaper process and avoid that $1,000 printer.
Imagine you can get how many receipts per day do you normally go through?
Quite a few.
I doubt it.
Obviously when they're paying their bills, we go through, I would say probably in the first week to 2 weeks, about 50 to 100 in a day, at least.
Cause you could pick up printer for under $100 that would print 8.5 by 11. Or you could even, if you can buy the paper, smaller paper, you can print the smaller size even.
I wouldn't quite get a $100 printer for 100 a day, but I do think it's far cheaper to buy a printer that you pick up at Costco and they give a 2-year warranty on it. And
How about the printer that we just bought, Josh? What was it, 2 months ago? You can't use that to put a wire on that thing and print it off of that? Yeah?
I would assume so.
But where is that setting in the building?
In the file room, so we'd have to walk from the window all the way to
Susan,
there
get her
multiple
exercise.
times every hour.
To get her footsteps in pretty quick.
Either that or
I don't think she'll be real happy with
write
it,
a
though.
handwritten receipt. About every time I come in the office, someone drives through the drive-through. I don't come in here very often. Jesus, you just don't see the drive-through empty that much. We need to be able to give the customers a receipt and they pay the bill quickly, cleanly, without a bunch of hassle.
I say the last one, that thing was, it's at least 20 years old, so that one's hung around a while. They got their money's out.
Yeah, my point is, I just don't think that technology is gonna be needed 20 years from now. So why buy another machine like that? So, I mean, everybody's going to digital receipts pretty quickly.
So we're just talking on suggestion from the manager. So I will take the comment from Laura though.
My question would be,
We haven't made a motion or anything. so go
There
ahead.
was a motion on the floor.
No,
Oh, I'm sorry.
So, go ahead.
I would make a comment that, to find out how much it would cost for Black Mountain or whoever, the program for the software to transfer to the new receipt format. Because if it's cheaper to pay for the programming going forward, that might be an option or a good solution.
There's no
Is Black Mountain Software connected to Susie's end of it there?
I can
The
currently,
cash flow.
every time that thing goes down and I have to completely shut down that computer, every time a customer wants a receipt, because it won't print one, I can print it on Susie's printer right there. But it prints in a full 8x10 sheet with a little tiny strip across it. So we're wasting an entire piece of paper for
Yeah.
that.
It sounds like,
Jennifer, what do you think is more conducive for saving money? Do you think that's better, or what is your opinion on that?
I can tell you we don't go through that much receipt tape, especially since we adjusted the receipts for credit cards. They don't no longer print a huge long sheet. Cost-wise, I don't feel like we go through as much or that much of the thermal paper.
I think we need
I
that
know
up for that
I know when I do
day-to-day
copies, they're about 40 cents to 50 cents just for black and white. Color is about 75 cents a piece. So if the, I don't know, if the customer had $995 and we're not going through the paper, in the long run, it might be cheaper. I know it's, and I agree with Director Espen, it's an old antiquated way of doing things, but we don't have to buy any more print,
Thermal
ink as
paper.
well. So it might work out just better that way too, so. But I think that if that's all it is for receipts, I'm fine with it. All the thermal at $9.95, it'll end up, gosh, it'll save us money within 3 years. If that seems to be more efficient, for the staff, and the suggestion of Josh, I would be, more than happy to, I would consider going with the $995.
I would move that we allow the management as a day-to-day operation to make that decision, which way they want to go on that.
and get it done, I second.
Discussion on that?
This is a day-to-day necessity.
Right.
That's all there is to it. It needs to get done ASAP.
No, the main, that budget item is over right now.
Over
so-
already.
That's why I brought that to you.
Mr. President,
Yes.
the budget item is over because we need to make a budget amendment for the $10,000 printer that we bought. That doesn't fit into the budget, no how, no way. Unless you amortize it over 20 years. So we need a budget amendment for the $10,000 and get it out of that section of the budget so that it's more in line with what the budget actually looks like day to day.
Agreed.
I think you need to come up with a policy on doing budget amendments first. There isn't, nothing's written down.
Nothing is written.
There's no, so that could be something that we could work on with Bo in the coming budget.
I call the question, we got a long agenda, this is a day-to-day item.
So, all, public comment on? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, same sign.
Aye.
One
Alright.
dissension.
Last item on my report is, had a gentleman from Phillips 66 come into the office and they're looking at replacing their transmission line that cuts from north of the Heights, across Alexander, kind of parallels the highway, cuts, and then follows the bike path. They're having, I guess it's just getting aged out, so they're looking at replacing that, so. Met with them, and talked about the multiple crossings they're gonna have with, they're in early stages, so just
How
preliminary
large of a
engineering.
line is that?
For their stuff, I don't have what that one was, the 6 spot thing, but we've crossed it, like with the first phase, and so, just something else that's another project on the radar.
Anything else, Josh?
Nope, everything else goes along with other agenda items.
Okay,
I have a request, Mr. Chairman.
yes.
We had a discussion about, I can't remember at which meeting, but to request fixed price quotes from the various contractors that we called for emergency call outs.
Oh,
To see if they would give us numbers and then commit to them for a year at a fixed price. And I'd like, have we made any progress on that request?
No, that one kinda got pushed to the back burner. I'll make phone calls tomorrow, on that one.
Yeah, I would like, that information for the board to review. I think that's why we made the request.
We'll be able to get that information possibly by, first part of, May, in the work session.
The Wicks Lane emergency pipe rehab,
That is,
I don't see it.
no, that's just the assessment.
Now, we were supposed to have engineering finalized last week Friday and everything. Is it a go? Is it a
We got
no-go?
the DEQ approval letter came in Friday afternoon. Talking with Terry, we wandered it on Tuesday. He was waiting on some concrete prices and getting on the temporary water schedule. I contacted Northwest Pipe for the material. They have everything in stock and at the same prices that you quoted me in the end of February.
We had an emergency meeting a week ago so that things could get started, but nothing started, no emergency water or anything. What do we need to get this project approved? Does it take a resolution to adopt this, to get it going? I mean, I just seen a sign on Bitterroot that Bitterroot's gonna be closed starting Monday. I'm assuming that's for pavement. We don't need to have them pave on Monday and then re-tear it up the following Monday to put a
Well, we're not
water
gonna-
line.
I think your assumption is wrong.
Could be, I'm just making an assumption they're starting to pave. There's all kinds of things that could go on there and cause it to be closed. But I would like to see this project expedited, that's, I thought was our intent all along, but we're
And
not.
the
getting
Tuesday,
any
the
expedition.
Tuesday following that meeting, I sent letters to Performance Engineering approving the deviation request and noticing them of the board's vote to proceed with the project. And then Terry's got a copy of the resolution also.
I have a question. On Cheryl, and Tom, what's the street that runs behind your house, the dirt one?
Duran.
And Cheryl and Duran, there is always a large quantity of water there. And we appear to have a water main there, because somebody from the water district was marking. I can't understand why there'd be water there unless we have a leak in the water main, because it's there, it's been there for several months and it never dries out. And today it's really, really quite deep.
Just runoff water from the road.
That's right, I've lived there for 40 years and that's always been a mud hole. I paid $1,000 to fill it myself personally one time and got my butt chewed by a city engineer that I would have to pay to take that gravel out when they developed the street. I thought it was county. I went to the county and they patted me on the back for spending money to fill a mud hole.
You know, I get
So,
killed.
it's been BS for 50 years that I have lived there right there and there's water running down the street with no storm drain.
But where did it come, I mean, it's deep today. There wasn't any rain that I'm aware of.
Oh,
I
no,
Was it-
I
was
think
it?
it's not
Okay.
on the weekend.
Quarter inch
All
at
right.
my gauge.
Well, I slept right through it.
Okay. Treasurer's report, we have a report on,
Frank's got
Number-
some.
oh, Frank.
Did you get a
I missed
price
you.
from Terry on the replacing that water line? Cause the price he gave us is for 1,360 feet, and we're only going
Unit
750.
price is the same, the only thing that'll change is the quantities.
it's
so that price per-
$240 a foot, or $241 a foot.
Unit
Plus
price, yeah.
surface repair.
Okay.
Unit price is the same, and that's, I just got
Okay.
motion for the meeting.
Anything else on the manager's report? Seeing none, we move on. The treasurer's report was in the agenda package. I don't know if there's any questions or anything on that, Tom.
Yes, We have CDs coming due this month, $1.25 million. They start coming due on Monday. We need to do something with them. 2 months ago, I asked if we could get quotes on short term, like 6 months, 3 months, to put some of it in. Some of it was wanted to go into the state STIP fund. We need to have this decided what we're doing with this $1.25 million that's coming due in the next 2 weeks.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
did we ever get a proper contract signed from the state? There was a holdup last week.
We did get a signed contract, did we not?
From Steve?
Steve?
Yes.
And I talked with Bo, and told him that we had these coming due, so he's aware, and that's something that we've talked about looking into. That's on the list of things to do with his,
So,
Well, my first question is, we were gonna change the contract with Staples so that we had different people
Doug on there.
able to access the information. Has that been signed?
yes,
It has been.
he
we
signed
haven't
that.
gotten anything from them. You
So-
know, they haven't sent anything, at least I haven't gotten anything saying these are coming due
It's in the
Statement.
statement.
My second question is, have we executed the documents that we needed to sign in order to invest in the short-term investment pool
With the state.
with the state? Because that was, Laura brought those documents to us while she was still on the board.
And they were in the minutes of
Right.
last month, and the
And we-
resolution was in there.
It's in the minutes, we passed a motion to execute those, and we passed a motion who should be on those accounts. Have those documents been
I don't recall
executed?
signing those.
that was weird, you were gonna come down, we were gonna fill those out, and then all this other stuff happened, and we hadn't gotten all that stuff.
So Jen,
I've got it, it's
You have the
most of the way
paperwork?
filled out, yeah.
Okay.
There's some of your stuff that,
You know, I would like to get some of these resolutions that board passes actually implemented.
Good to go.
You know, we're losing interest now because they haven't been. We've got $1.25 coming out that we could reinvest in various ways, but we don't have either set of documents signed yet that we've been waiting for, that we've approved in order to form our function and do the best investment policy as possible. So I'd like, I hope as soon as the new GM starts on Monday, we can start getting some of this stuff done.
We've got $500,000 coming due on Monday, another $250,000 on Tuesday, and then on the 29th, the last $500,000, a week from Monday. If we don't have a place to put it, that money's sitting dormant.
That's not our fault.
No, it's not, but
It's-
we need to act and get a direction to go with it. I don't wanna see $1.2 million put in the state fund. I think that's too much to have in the state fund. I think some short-term CDs, I've been offered some over 5%. I think that's the way to go because of the Wicks Lane project and other
I
things that
thought
could
they
happen.
automatically defaulted to that. Go ahead, Nora.
So, within the Stiefel investment accounts, we have the Smart Rate Fund that we roll money into, and that's a short-term solution. On our statements last month, that paid us 7.6% interest, which was more than any interest or CDs that were available at all during that previous month. So that would be, my suggestion would be to roll that money into that Smart Rate account if we're still getting that higher rate of interest, and that gives you
Couple of
breathing room
Yeah.
to reinvest the money where you need it to be and execute the documents that we've approved.
Is it set up to automatically roll into that when they come due until we make a decision?
I think so. Josh or Jen, one of them, I think, can make a phone call and confirm that. But what we had been doing is basically using it as a sweep account. So when there was these large maturities, it would sweep from our cash account into the Smart Rate account. So we just need to confirm with Steve that that still is the procedure that's happening.
I have a question for Laura. if I may.
Yes.
I understood we had a maximum we could put in, like $500,000, we are there, are we not?
I don't recall that right off the top of my head, Tom, so we'll have to rely on Josh or Jen to check with Steeple. Ming has a comment.
Ming, go ahead. You're muted.
Ming, you're
Ming.
muted?
Thank you, can you hear me now?
Yep.
Mr. Chairman, I just wanted to bring up to your attention, when we had that sweep count there, the only thing that we had to worry about is to make sure we were within the FDIC guidelines of 250,000. So, I remember when we did the sweep account, we always had that little challenge to make sure we changed it so that that was happened within 2 months, or within a period of time. So it was a safe way to keep the smart money at that point, and then we moved forward after, director at that time, Laura, gave us directions on where to move the CDs.
Okay, thank you. Okay.
I have a couple of questions. One, somebody mentioned that the Steeple report was in the monthly, that we get a monthly report from Steeple, but it's not included in the packet that I saw.
Not
So,
this one.
if we rely on Steeple to mail it, we'll never get it. It has to be pulled off by somebody that has the password and just download it and include it. So that's one thing. Another, and this, that may not be the point to bring it up, but there is so much work that we've asked to have done that isn't done. And I know, and people have done a tremendous amount of work, so I'm not trying to be critical, but it seems like the May 1st agenda could be a business session rather than a work session, so that as long as the documents are prepared and there's an agenda packet, we could actually conduct business and get stuff done. And then if there's other stuff that we just want to discuss, you could stop the business session and reconvene to a work session to talk. I'm just throwing that out as a possibility so that some of these things that we're asking for, we could do and not have to tie it up all in one meeting.
Are you assigned to the Steeple account?
I mean,
Can we get into that? and find out
I
what's
haven't
going on?
gotten it, I signed the papers to do it, and I have not gotten anything back. Zip, not a nothing.
If we could find some short term, so that somebody can sit and get.
Have you gotten anything back from them?
There was nothing to get back when I sent, that was just the,
Not
What
even
you
a
had-
password to get in, or?
no, because everything was written down, it's documented. It's the same stuff that I had filled out, that Jen had filled out, that Peyton had filled out when he was on it. It's the same paperwork, there's nothing, it just, it
So how do
shows
you
that
make contact
when
with
you
them?
call in,
Call
it shows that you're an
Oh,
approved person on the account to be
okay.
talked to,
Talk to Steve Knudsen.
or he can talk to you.
But it has to be a password, because Laura had trouble getting the full report, but Peyton could get it. So there's different levels of access, and there shouldn't be for anybody that's on those three, I would think.
Well,
Go ahead,
I
Jeff.
think Pam's suggestion is good.
Mhm.
You know, we were trying to send a message to these vendors that they need to be cooperative.
Yeah.
And we need to get them to listen to that message and not keep allowing them to make money when they're not being cooperative. I think that's a very important point. So I'm unwilling to give directions to reinvest with Steeple till the chairman can confirm that
We're there.
that we're there where we need to be. He can bring that. I think Pam's suggestion of
Well,
having
coming over for
another
Steeple.
business meeting on May
I'll
2nd
call.
is a good one.
I'll call Steve in the morning.
Let's see where we were with STIP and get that done, you know, and then we can do our job and implement resolutions that were passed at the last meeting.
Do you have some comment?
No, I just think we need to get with Steeple and find out what's going on and get our STIP account. I wouldn't mind $500,000 being in the state fund, but I think CDs with the others on some short term would be a benefit.
$500,000 is probably the smallest account that the state account would have. I mean, by far the smallest account.
Let's take it up at the May 2nd.
Okay.
Go first.
Moving on to committee reports.
Do we need to make a motion to make that May first meeting a business meeting then? Or do we just go ahead and, Chairman, or do we have to say it's a work session, or is just consensus then?
I think just by consensus, if we have the stuff to make it a meeting that, a general meeting,
As
but
long
we'll
as
do
it's noticed
that.
that way.
Pardon?
As long as it's noticed that way.
Right, and I would say that would probably,
Mr. Chair, I think that might be a good time to do that, business meeting, cause we'll have Bo there, and he'll have at least a weekend, and it'll be a good time to, bring up that concern, and then, see how he's doing.
okay, we'll just plan on it as being a business meeting on May
And
first.
what day are you talking about, so I can put it on my calendar? May first?
I believe May first is the first
Wednesday,
Wednesday.
neighbors.
Okay.
What time? Time.
9.
9 o'clock, probably. Okay, Discovery Committee report. Frank?
All right, so we haven't had any meetings after we had the first one. I wanted to make sure we got, all the stuff done for the general manager on board, and we worked on getting that, Wix main project going, so we get that replaced. And so we're scheduled now for a meeting on Monday, the 22nd, from 10 to 11. And right now it's scheduled for Belknap, and that would be Ming and Jeff and myself. And when I talked to Debbie, she suggested we have something worked up for a memorandum of understanding that we can combine with their ideas, so that we got a working group, we know what we got, what everybody's gonna contribute and all that. So I think we need to come up with some things tonight that we need to have in that memorandum of understanding that we can take to that discovery meeting with the city.
Okay, discussion, or,
So one of the things is that, cost of the discovery deal, we're gonna end up having an engineer that will be working on it and collaborating for both sides, and working together. We had 4 of them picked, or 3 of them picked. I can't remember who they are, Sanderson, Stewart, but anyway, I don't have that with me right now. But, we'll get together with the city, and then we're gonna send out an RFQ to find out what they can do for us in that respect. And, I don't know, cost will be the main thing, but I think time is also something that should be pretty important on you. But that's why I wanted it brought up tonight, so everybody here could get their 2 cents in on it, so we know what we're gonna take to that meeting when we go on Monday, so.
with a memorandum of understanding, I would think we'd have to, or at least I would have to have some kind of a clue as to what kind of cost. You know, is it gonna be 1.5 million, is it gonna be, Jeff?
Well, I think we need to figure out what elements need to be included in there for study, and then the cost sharing formula. Definitely, you know, they got in-house lawyers, so,
Right,
you know, if we can, I think we ought to try to
utilize.
charge us to come to an agreement on concepts, and then let their lawyers draft it and our lawyers review it. That'll be cheap. And then, but, you know, I do think that would be something that we should think about, you know, and do a little study, and then we could have a discussion on May 1st about what should go in that MOU, and we could send that to the city in advance of our meeting to be prepared.
When the district sends a task order, or agrees with task order, we've always had specifics of what the engineer was gonna do. Step 1, step 2, step 3. Some of our task orders have had 400 parts. Each part had a price. I cannot understand how we can hire an engineer and agree to a price until we know what the engineer is doing. I have no clue is what the engineer is gonna ask for, other than they wanna know our facilities. Well, that's task order 29, and our facilities are itemized and valued in our annual report. So what more do they need than what we have that an engineer is gonna flush out? I don't understand how you go in this blindly and say, well, it's gonna cost 300,000. I'm just using that as a figure. But I don't understand what they're asking for. I have no list of what's being asked for. So until we have one, that's how you put an MOU together, is what, itemize the work you want, and who's gonna do it, and what kind of cost you're willing to pay to do this work. And then we have something to discuss, but right now, I don't understand what you're asking for.
Well, Mr. Chairman, I think Tom made good suggestions about what should be the drafting task ahead of us. Thank you, Tom. So, let's put our good minds to that work and try to get specifics.
Go ahead, Meg.
I think that the advantage for this whole thing, is to the city, and of course, they're the big guys there. So, one of the things I would say is, hey, you guys have to pay for the whole dang thing. I don't think that we don't have an advantage to go there, but that's my opinion. But if they're the ones that have been pushing it so hard, let's go to them and say, hey, you guys want to consolidate, you pay for it. Start there.
Thank you. Cal?
The HB 675 lays out the things that you have to address. A lot of those, I think, wouldn't be addressed in an engineering plan, but I think it would be important to look at those. And I would say also to go to the meeting, and I forgot when you said it was, but go to the meeting with the documents that you think are relevant. So give them copies, digital copies of the CIP, give them digital copies of the task order, give them digital copies of the pipe outline that should be completed by now, since a month ago we were told it was almost ready. And anything that you think is relevant, and then say, so that because that's the information they're gonna need, and then they can say what else they need. 'Cause some of the stuff like the adjustment for existing bonded indebtedness, that's clear from the audit reports.
Where did you get that list of items?
Item HB 675. I just copied it out of HB 675, because I thought that was well drafted.
Monday,
AM, PM?
10 to 11, until now.
Next week.
Yeah, it's been Monday.
Okay, I'm going to.
Greg, go ahead.
I wasn't gonna say anything tonight, but I think I probably should at this point. I work for the county and I worked with city projects. The city likes everything in their favor.
Well,
The purpose of an engineering firm would be a third party to evaluate, to see if what they're proposing and what you would like is gonna be reasonable for both sides. The city really likes to have everything to their advantage. Sometimes you can have the engineering firm, from their previous experience, draw up a contract that you can both look at. If you know what your goal is, and the city knows what their goal is, talk to the engineering firm, and they can put together a proposal for you with the items like you're talking about. The engineering firm can help you highlight those items from their previous experience with something like this. So that's a possibility.
So, Greg, would that not go out in the RFQ?
It's kind of a tough one because if you're putting out an RFQ, you gotta kind of be careful that you might disqualify somebody because they already have some insider information.
Right, and that's what we've been going through with picking an engineer. There's been a list going around, and
So if you
Right,
could,
and
if you
narrow
guys
it
could
down.
kind of decide what your goals are with this, kind of narrow them down a little bit, what would have to be looked at. I'll have to see, I don't know enough about the water business to give you any details, let the city do the same thing, come back, merge them together, and do your RFQ off of that. I'd hate for an engineer to do something, and you may end up disqualifying them from the bidding process because they did the qualifications for it.
Can I ask you a question? RFQ is a request for qualification.
Qualifications.
This is brand new law. It was written specifically for this district and the city of Billings. Doesn't apply anywhere else in the state. So having somebody have qualifications to deal with it, how are they gonna know? Because it's never been done before. What are the qualifications needed to do this? I understand what you're saying. You could get your tit in the big ringer by asking for qualifications.
It kind of came down to us that when we did fairly good-sized projects, because I was involved with the expansion of the detention facility the last time we added on the women's unit, and we had to do qualifications. According to state law, that's the way you do architects and engineers on those kinds of projects. So we have to interview them all, and then narrow it down and interview and then select somebody. And then you talk money. How much is it gonna cost you? During the qualification process, you can't talk about money. It comes afterwards. But we did that a number of times. And you set out some criteria, what you're looking for somebody to do the projects. You had to do a little bit of thought and come up with 4 or 5 talking points that go in your qualification. So you'd have to match it with the cities and then basically have to interview. Because that's what we did.
Thank you, Greg. Laura?
I would just like to say that I think that we are hiring a general manager that has a world of experience with engineering and those kinds of things. And we might be remiss if we didn't at least have a conversation with the new general manager about his thoughts, because his experience is vast and he may have some great suggestions for the Discovery Committee and what the scope of work we should be looking for is. Just my comments. Sorry.
It's a special time of the day. Jeff?
Well, I think we've gotten a couple of great suggestions from members of the public, so I'm really glad we are getting suggestions from the members of the public. I have to apologize to fellow Discovery member for some reason, but it's done. So I don't think we can resolve all this tonight, but I think on
It gives us some ideas
the,
to start.
yeah, we can have some general discussions. And, you know, I'm assuming they've entered a lot of MOUs with the city and with, you know, I know they use them for the fire districts and all that kind of thing. So they've got a pattern, and we could ask, what do you think should go in it? You know, and here's what we've heard so far. Tell us what you're thinking, and let us go back to it. We've got a new GM coming on, and then we'll get back to you. How's that sound?
Yeah, it's been, March 8th was our last meeting, so I don't think we want to put it off again.
No,
I think
I
we
don't
gotta
wanna
get in
postpone
it and,
We might
get-
have another one late in May.
yeah, or earlier in May, we could have one more with Bo when he gets here, so.
Pam?
Just a point of information, there has been consolidation of smaller districts, smaller water districts into the city of Billings. And the attorney for that smaller district was Mark Parker. Now, it happened a number of years ago, but, you know, it may or may not be useful to talk with Mark.
You're right, because Cedar Park went in and Briarwood went in.
Yeah, and he was also the attorney here, but,
I got the privilege of paying assistant development fees to the Briarwood district, and then again a year later to the city. So I remember that well, but I'll give Mr. Parker.
okay, that'd be
Tom,
great.
you had a comment?
Well, I don't even know what our goals are with this consolidation. So, to me, our goal is for the city to take over this district on an equal basis with the existing customers, whether they're a city resident or outside the city. Is that what our goal is or not?
Well, once again, Mr. Chairman, Director Zervian, with all respect, you're jumping to the end. We're at the beginning. you know, we're not gonna determine what the goal is until we find out some more facts, and we haven't even started, we don't even have a list of the facts we need, as you pointed out, so let's take it one step at a time and be patient.
Frank, did you have anything else on that?
No, that's about it. It gives me some fodder to throw out there, and like Jeff says, we haven't even kicked the ball off yet. We've had one meeting, and so we gotta take it a step at a time and see where it goes. And I'll be interested to find out, to have Bo come in and sit in on the meeting, so.
Okay, item number 2 on committee reports, general manager report, and we'll take that up under old business number 6. So we'll move now to old business. Starting with number 2, reposting for vacant board seat. And
Mr. Chair.
Go ahead, man.
I'd like to make the motion that we repost the vacancy for the board member to be open, to close, what day did we decide? April 30th, is that, for 30 days? Next meeting?
That's May 9th.
Which is in May?
May 8th.
May 8th?
Yeah.
So, let me just restate that. I'd like to make the motion to reopen the vacant board member for applications and to close that and make that decision before, for the new board member to seat at the next board meeting in the middle of that Wednesday, May 17th or so.
Oh, what we had, is there a second to that motion? That's
So I'll
not-
second.
Okay. For discussion purposes, it was agreed that we were gonna post the opening after this meeting,
Yes,
and then close on May 8th, interview on May 15th at the board meeting, and then the seating would take place the first Monday in June.
I amended to whatever you said, Doug. Perfect.
Well, I just, I wrote it down, so.
Yeah, I know you did, and I just couldn't remember everything, but that's exactly correct.
Okay, thank
So I
you.
just
That's
wanna make it
exactly his
formal,
motion.
so we can, hopefully we can go forward with
So
that.
that's what we're doing.
If you wouldn't mind to take your second and just, I'll just restate what you said as the motion, and if somebody would second that, that'd be
Okay.
great.
So let me restate it so I know what I'm seconding for sure.
Okay.
That we post the vacancy after tonight's meeting, that we accept applications until May 8th, close of business, 5 p.m. That we will interview and make a decision at the board meeting in our May meeting,
Yep.
a regularly scheduled May meeting, and that the appointee would be seated
First Monday in
first
June.
Monday in June.
When are your interviews then?
On the 15th,
At the meeting.
Oh, at the meeting?
at the board meeting. Is there a second to that
I-
one?
That
Tom
was
seconded.
that was the second.
Okay, that was seconded by Jeff. Frank,
And I'd like to amend it to say that we will not hold any previously posted applications for that position. If they want to apply, they get to start over as of tomorrow.
as of tomorrow.
I second that.
And it's been second.
Can I make an amendment to that?
You
We
can make an amendment to amendment.
Just
Yeah.
one amendment at a time.
Okay,
You only have 2 motions on the floor.
okay.
So,
Let's dispose of the first amendment, which was
The first amendment is to, we aren't.
no holdover application.
No holdovers from the last opening, so they all have to be started as of tonight after this meeting or tomorrow morning. Business is open
Okay.
in the morning. And you seconded that?
Yes.
Tom seconded it.
okay, so it's, the original motion was seconded, and Frank moved amendment. And the amendment was to, that there be no holdovers on the previous application. So, discussion on that.
I'm gonna vote no, because I think it makes the board look dumb. I mean, we had a meeting to interview the candidates. We threw out all the applications, we told them that they were open, we had people apply. I mean, it's fine the first time, but to twice in a row say we have no clue what we're doing and you have to do it 3 times, I just think is ridiculous. I mean, I think at a minimum, everybody who applied since the first meeting should be called and told, but I just think it's offensive and disrespectful to people that have already applied.
Okay? Tom?
They were all told at the meeting when the motion was made to reject all applications, they had to reapply.
And they reapplied.
They had not reapplied. We haven't
Not-
received a
It
single
hasn't been
Oh,
open
okay,
yet.
my understanding was they could reapply right away.
No,
No.
we said they
Okay.
had to reapply.
After tonight's board
This
meeting.
gives them
Okay.
3 weeks to apply from tonight. Not 2 days or 3 days, but 3 weeks, which is adequate time. So please,
Any other discussion on the amendment?
I think it will clarify the situation
Right.
from a legal standpoint. I'm gonna support it.
Public comment? Seeing none. We'll have a vote. All in favor of amending the motion to read no holdover applicants will be accepted, please signify by saying aye.
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 Vote, motion carries unanimously. Okay, so now we're back to the original motion as amended. And the original motion posted the dates, and so is there any other amendments to the motion? Going once, going twice. No other amendments, so we will now vote on the amended, on the motion. We have that already. Okay. Any public comment on the amended motion? Seeing none on the amended motion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carries unanimously.
Can I make another comment that's related to this?
We've
this
got,
item is closed. Let's move on to item 3.
But it's a totally different thing, Tom. This is the second time this has occurred since I've been appointed, where the board posts, brings people in to interview, and then stops and so to me, what we need is an amendment to the bylaws that lays out the process. Because this is what happened the first time, it's what happened the second time, and how it was changed both the first and second time. So let's get it in the bylaws so some new board doesn't get caught.
okay. Old business, task order 29 progress.
That was also
That was in the agenda, or packet
in
The
Interstates.
manager's report?
It was in Interstates.
report. Tom?
Like he said, that was in the interstate engineering report, and it clearly says they should have a draft on it by the end of the month. I move we table this because it's been covered in the packet.
Okay,
I have a question of clarification.
go ahead.
There were a couple of contracts that I believe were, under $10,000 each,
Correct.
that were included in the packet, I assume for our information. It's my belief that the task orders passed includes money to cover that and the authority
Correct.
for those to be executed.
Because those are
That's
general.
correct.
That was all part of, that was included in the task order, the overall price, and that was just the price that he got, so I was just doing he asked if you guys wanted to see it, I said, better to see it than not, so there you have it.
Thank
Okay.
you. I think it's appropriate that they get
We'll
it
take
done
no
while they've
action
got
on
the
that.
access.
Item number 4, AC pipe assessment. Frank, did you want to report on that, or what, Josh, you report on that?
That's, the whole thing is in there.
Are there any questions on the assessment?
It's a page.
Tom, go ahead.
I've read this. 6 times if I've read it once. And I guess I don't have the expertise to understand what it says. What's the life expectancy left in the pipe? I don't find
That was an additional email that he sent. You were the main recipient on that. I'll read it to you. It says, it's hard to quantify the useful life of the pipe or put a number to the years left of the pipe. There is some calcium loss to the pipe sample that we tested, but AC pipe doesn't fail from calcium loss. AC pipe fails from external conditions like soil movement, putting pressure on the pipe and causing it to crack. There isn't a history of pipe breakage of your AC pipe, so the soils in your area appear to be stable. Based on that and our experience studying AC pipe, we consider that there is still life left in the pipe. It's just difficult to put a number on the years left of service. That's the...
We're back where we were. We don't know what's life expectancy is left in it.
Everything looks pretty good on the report from what I could get out of it. The exterior of the pipe is the part that fails first, and that part of the pipe is in good condition. Interior of the pipe, something in the water that we're using is leaching calcium out of the inside. But when you look at the phenolphthalein testing on it, it's that pink is pretty much the entire pipe, I would say, which is, it looks pretty good. But I think we have to go farther. I think we have to either do Fracta or VADA and also get that ecologic testing done. But I'm not pushing for anything like that till Paul gets here, and then I'm gonna take it up with him and see what he says. But I think not only for consolidating with the city, but I think it's also very important for us to know, because we have never had pipe replacement project in the Heights since it's been running, and that's 60
We've
years.
rehabbed.
On the scheduled replacements?
Schedule replacement, no.
That's what I'm saying, and so if you're gonna do a scheduled replacement, it's gonna cost you $1 million a mile, and we got 48 miles of this AC pipe to do. So if we don't consolidate, we have to start doing that, we have to start planning for it. We don't wanna do all 47 miles in 2 years.
And we don't wanna wait for
So-
70 years and have them all fail at once.
So that's why I think it's really important that we pursue checking this out further to see what we can learn about what we got in the ground without just going and digging something up and, oh, God, this stuff was good, we probably shouldn't have dug it out.
And I think that's, again, that's something, like that, when the manager comes on board, get his input on that,
And these numbers to us might look pretty foreign, but to him,
yeah, it's gonna mean something to
they
him.
might mean something to him. So, I don't think $2,500 cost of doing this is all wasted. I think there's something to be gleaned from it, so.
Yes.
Well, on page 2, it says we have an active 61% loss, as I read it. What does that mean? We have 39% left? If the pipe's 50 years old, you've still got 39% of life expectancy left? That's pretty fair.
20 years.
It's at least 20, if not 35 years, so
Okay,
is that what it means? I don't.
I think that's exactly what it means. Bill Calculation Act. I'm gonna let,
That, again, it was in your packet to review. We kinda.
oh, just for review.
Well, that's what it looks like. That was what Frank had wanted last month, was to show the side by side with where you were at in the tiers. So that kinda shows
As
that.
well as well as the calculations down below,
So
further in depth.
we weren't able to get a picture of what it would actually look like on the website. Civics Plus never got back to us on that, but it will look very similar to that.
What page is that on?
51,
51, 2 and 3, I believe.
So my question, Josh, for you is, so if This is designed so that if I get a bill and it says I've got 9,000 gallons, 9,522 gallons of water, I can enter that number in there and then it'll break it down for me.
It'll generate the calculation for you.
It shows you where you're at
Okay.
per,
As well as that.
How close you are getting to that next.
yeah, it should show, yeah, if you
Or
look
how
at the
far
picture
you're into
where-
the next.
As well as that calculation box on the one side that's on the page, that will be on there as well. So where it shows each tier and how much each tier costs, that will be on the website as well, in the same page.
Over there on the left-hand side.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, last month I asked how much it would cost to update as the rates change.
That is in your quote.
That's
Pardon
it.
me?
It's
That's
on the
in the
bottom
quote.
of page 52.
What is is this it, $3,500 to
That's,
change?
that's to start, that's a base rate to purchase it right now.
Right, but what
the
happens if we have?
Update is, I think it was
240?
240.
Oh,
Base,
that's
period,
easy.
done,
Not-
that's it.
So the 240 is to change?
When we have a
We
price
update
increase.
rates.
Yeah,
Change the rates.
240 in totality, or 240 for residential and 240 for commercial?
no, 240 in total, 240 just to change all of it and fix it.
Is that 240, Jeff,
Yes,
dollars?
yep.
Thank you.
Any other, Jeff, go ahead.
Well, I think this provides useful information. People who call the office with questions can get directly to it. Won't eliminate the first round of calls in the summer, but maybe the second and the third. And, staff with the people that are customer facing could be, trained to say, here's what you can do to control your costs. And I want to bring that up in another.
I think it'll be a handy tool for people that get that first watering bill and see, oh man, I use this much, well, if I use X amount more, what would my bill be?
Plus, if you get stopped on the street by somebody, you can take your smartphone and pull it up, put their numbers in, and it will show them right where they're at too, which would come in handy if somebody's irate, at your disposal. Yep.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to authorize the staff to get it posted to the website and prominently on the landing page. A very direct connection to it.
So as we discussed last month, where I was talking about making it basically a bills payable page, is that what you're meaning? So I would basically put this, the calculation, and then pay my bill in a bills payable tab.
Ask.
Okay, just check.
Frank?
I'll second that for discussion.
Been moved and seconded by Frank.
Now I
Discussion.
got some discussion.
Go ahead, Frank.
So what happens when you start this program and you start getting glitches in it? How much is it gonna cost for each glitch fix?
There's no cost for a glitch fix.
This is guaranteed to run.
And if there is any issues, he'll fix it,
Okay.
free of charge.
There was a glitch test.
Is it possible, if this passes, that we can get something on the front page where calculate your rate, click here,
That's what she's talking about. We'll make a separate tab at the top.
just so that they can find it immediately without going to About Us or anything, just shows up.
Any other board comment? Public comment?
My only comment would be that the rate should go up July 1, so we're approving something tonight that we'll have to change again on July 1st, right?
No.
We don't know.
So we're assuming that we're not gonna raise the rates along with the city, or?
We just had a rate increase in January. And we haven't had any report back, and that's down on, under, new business on the city's rate. So we can discuss that at that point in
And
time.
there's one down there.
Who had your hand up first?
Start with Jeff.
Okay.
I think anything we can do to help educate our customers and control their costs is something worthwhile doing.
Well, that amount of money doesn't buy you much PR. Frank?
So I kind of agree with Pam just a little bit, because when Bo gets on board, he already says if we're selling apples, we're going broke. So when he gets on board, he might be telling us we gotta raise rates. So maybe we should wait till after our budget talks with Bo to get this rolling.
$240?
That's what I was gonna say, you could put it in place for those people that have questions now, and then
Yeah, I guess,
if and when you do, for $240, he can go in
Yep.
and update it.
This formula is very simple.
Right, and
So,
it's already
you
there.
know, all these, if there's changes in where the tiers start, that's one spot. You know, if there's changes in the multiplier, that's 4 more spots. So that's pretty straightforward. So it's not, it's,
Public comment.
I was gonna say, I think it's a wonderful tool, because when my bill goes up in June and July, I'd kinda like to be able to see, you know,
You're not gonna
and
want
we're
it
getting
till June or
underground
July.
picnic, so that's gonna be even nicer.
Grass is gonna be
But I
dry.
think if you're kibitzing over $240, come on, folks, really,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
Laura. Thank you, Doug. I would like to speak in favor of the motion. I think it's been a long time since the board has taken action on anything that's been a tool for the public. And I really think that this would be something very, very nice,
It's a good proactive tool.
right?
I totally agree.
And our rates are structured for conservation water.
Right?
So this goes hand in hand with that.
So my husband, he'll look at that and he'll go, oh, I'm gonna knock that down 2 more minutes on the hill.
Yes. Like any business that puts in conservation measures, the business pays for it. And pay for it dearly. You know, because they pay for it on both ends. You give them, customers, the tools, and they take your revenue. So it's a two-way sword, but it's something that needs to be offered to the customers. Because I would say 90% of the people are gonna say, and move on with life, they don't care.
I think it's just good PR.
Definitely, it's
Period.
good PR, yes. Okay, all in favor of said motion to accept, what is the name of the company again?
Burnside Industries.
Side Industries, estimate or
Web application.
web application, please signify by saying aye.
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 Motion passes unanimously again. Item number 6 on old business, GM operant contract. I think you all have a copy of that. There was one little mistake as it was presented in the agenda package. It was a very small mistake, but Frank caught it. It was section on page,
section 6, first line.
Yeah, we were referring back to section 4, it should have been section 5. So, has everybody had a chance to look this over?
What page is that, problem?
3.
On what page?
Page 3.
67?
Thank you.
in the
Oh,
packet,
67
it's
in the packet.
67, man.
Yeah.
Thank you.
On your copy there, Ming, it says in addition to the compensation set forth in section 4, it should be section 5.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah,
Before that, we postpone the committee report. Does the committee want to give a report, or just assume that the contract is the report?
we'll assume the contract is report because replacement report. So
Okay.
We're
I'm just
we're
clarifying.
following up on that. Is there a motion to, Jeff?
Move approval of the employment agreement.
Is there a second? Moved by Jeff, second by Frank. Discussion. Tom?
State law requires this board act with resolutions. So we definitely need a resolution to encumber the ratepayers on a contract of $100,000 plus a year. So I'll make a substitute motion that the board accept a resolution which states at minimum, whereas this county water district of Billings Heights is been incorporated in operates under Montana Code Annotated Title 7, Chapter 13, Parts 22 and 23. And whereas MCA
We get the
Title
idea, we
7,
get the
Chapter
idea, Tom, we got
13,
the idea. We got the idea.
I will not vote for a resolution I can't read or haven't at least heard. That's like signing a contract you haven't read. I won't do it.
Well, this is the contract.
There needs to be a resolution that meets state law.
The resolution can,
I won't vote for a resolution I can't read. Or hear.
this is a contract. It's not a resolution, it is a contract.
Needs a resolution to accept. We do all our business with resolutions or ordinances.
How did you accept the previous one then, Tom? I did not, Peyton's, I did not see a resolution on that.
I
You
was
were
not-
sitting on the board.
I was not a board member when Peyton was hired.
Mr. Chairman, I move we recess for 5 minutes. I will draft a resolution.
Okay. We are in recess for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Jeff.
That's the stuff that's gotta come first.
Resolution, that's what you
I know, Tom, but you got this, you read it. That came to your mind. Why didn't you call?
Can I get some quiet so I can...
I'm gonna be a hard ass.
So I have a question. When did you vote on who to hire?
When did we vote?
We have,
Don't you have
that's
to
what
vote?
we're
We
doing
haven't.
tonight.
That's what we're doing tonight.
So you have a contract ready and you're just going to vote to accept the contract?
To present the contract to him. Yes.
Okay, so if he accepts the contract then, is that when you hire him or?
If he doesn't accept it, we can't hire him.
Right. The contract accepts him on April 22nd. But he has to accept it before that.
But didn't you have to decide who to present the contract to?
The one who scored the highest on the interviews, yes. We decided on that,
I missed that.
yeah.
Because it wasn't at a public meeting, right? Was that executive
No.
session?
That was in closed session.
That was in closed session.
Discussion.
Because we can't announce who is what until there's a contract. We can say, we want you, we want you. And they can say, we've thought it over and we're not gonna move to Montana.
Lockwood just did. They made it public that they had chosen him and were going to present him with a contract for superintendent.
Isn't that what they're doing right now?
We're gonna present him this contract. We have to do our contract in public.
But they voted that they wanted to present Mr. Chrisman with a contract.
Okay, the voted and the scored the highest.
We just rated the,
We just rated them. Because, and the rating is filed.
Okay.
It is filed.
Filed where? I mean, there was no announcement. I guess I'm saying that,
Evelyn, we announced to you, you met him.
I know, but
Okay.
I didn't, at no point did anybody say, oh, we're hiring him, you know?
We're working on hiring him.
Resolution's gonna be...
Yeah, we're working on hiring him.
Okay.
if he accepts, we'll be hired.
So Tom, if you want to can Jeff read the resolution to you, or do you want him to send to the printer
And
and?
read it.
Okay.
Goodness, I feel like you're in grade school.
I know. It is slow. It's a bring your own bottle one if you want it African adult.
Yeah.
Name, Cole, and D-E-R,
Yes.
double S.
Double S, yeah.
No, Tuesday, yesterday. That's It's nice outside. Nice weather. Big hike, like it's, like where are you I see all that. Knocked on the door, it's pretty quick. Getting done spraying. Usually it's over at about 12:30 or you know, these 12:30-ish ones are
Okay,
school, but I get them these craft ones. What group you want through together
Mr. Chairman, I have 3 paragraphs. It is not gonna have the fancy signature stuff down at the bottom, but I think it's sufficient to bring to the committee
Okay.
when you care to.
0010-24, so it should be right.
We don't care, that can be put on the,
Yeah, once you do it, send it to me, I'll get it all
Get it done.
typed up,
Get it
fancy
pretty
pretty,
up
you can
and
sign it
properly
tomorrow.
numbered. Okay.
Okay,
Thank
we
you,
will
Ron.
now be back in session.
Mr. Chairman,
Director Esplin.
I'm prepared to respond to Director Rubio's admonition and present a resolution for adoption of the committee, of the board. Whereas the board of the county, well, I've left a few words out here, whereas the board of the County Water District of Billings Heights has interviewed candidates for the general manager position to be hired in accordance with the laws governing water districts in the state of Montana. And whereas the board has determined that it is in the best interest of the board and the customers of the districts to employ Alan Bo Anderson in said position due to his previous engineering experience and executive experience. Now therefore, the board of directors hereby resolves to enter into the employment agreement attached in order to employ Mr. Anderson on the terms and conditions contained therein, as posted on the board agenda with correction on the April 17, 2024 board agenda.
Do I have a second?
second.
You got a second?
Yes.
Seconded by Tom. Discussion. See no discussion from the board.
Well,
Like the
is he
town-
gonna pull his, are you gonna pull your substitute motion?
Oh, yeah.
You gotta do it legally if you're gonna
Never
do
got.
it.
It never got seconded.
Never got seconded. Laura, go ahead.
so I just want to say thank you to the board of directors. I am really excited that you're offering Bo Anderson this opportunity for employment, and I think that his experience is going to add much value to the district, and the ratepayers are very lucky to have, you have selected this individual, so thank you.
Thank you,
I'm
Laura.
supporting this vote.
With that, we will take a vote from the board. All in favor?
Roll call probably.
Yeah, let's do a roll call vote on this one.
Jeff,
Aye.
Frank,
Aye.
Tom,
Aye.
Doug,
Yes,
Pam,
Aye.
Ming,
Yes,
motion passes unanimously. We now have a manager. If he will accept, that will belong to him tomorrow.
Should I just email this to you right away, Josh?
Yes, please.
Move on to new business. First order, or first item is reorder the CIP projects. If anybody needs a copy of the CIP, it's back here.
On one.
Oh, one.
Says CIP on it.
Yeah.
You want it?
Okay.
No, that coincided with it,
Oh, okay.
but this is the actual,
Anybody? Do you want, you got one, Frank?
So we have a-
Thank you.
I'll take it instead of scrolling through the whole thing, thanks.
So it was talked about in the work session to reorder so that we can move what is now in priority level 3, I believe.
There is a page somewhere, Schedule
Or
A, that has. the
access.
mentions on it.
Well, pipe conditions is under priority 2.
And that's CIP number 007.
That might have been that one, though.
That's in the other one,
The other pack.
because you're up to 2.
Appendix A in there, Josh.
In this one?
Yeah. It has all the projects prioritized. Looks like.
Yeah, see, so you go on, the website.
It's on the website?
Yes.
Yeah, the whole CIP is on the website.
These aren't page numbered either, but
Appendix A on the website just is a one-page thing that has all of them listed.
Yeah.
in what is access conditions of existing pipes? 1 or 2?
Number 7, CIP item 7. Yeah.
That's the
Priority
priority
two.
2. Okay, and what is aging water lines, that's a 3.
Well, that's CIP number 8,
Right.
for week 7, right there, aging water main replacement.
Priority 3. So they're in order right now, however, we've got a number of 1s ahead of them.
Yep. This
One-
one's underway. This one is not, this one is not, this one is not, this is not.
So,
This is task order 29.
29.
This one's
So
task order.
the raw water intake,
Would be their next choice.
we want to move the existing access condition of existing pipe to replace that one. That's the only number 1, Tom?
I don't feel the board has the expertise to make these decisions. I have no quorum with asking for CIP item number 7, assessing condition of existing pipelines to be moved up. But I would do that as a request, because we have other projects. Here's one, Bitterroot Loop Access, Highway 312. Here's one, Bitterroot Loop Access, Barrett to Mary. Bitterroot Access, Barrett to Mary, Bitterroot dead ends. It has a corner at Barrett and Wicks. You go further north at Peony, there's a line that comes up in dead ends at Bitterroot. You go up to Mary Street, there's a line that comes up in dead ends. If there's a fire in that area, are you confident that you want to destroy this plan and say, yeah, there'll be plenty of water without that loop for fire? Do you have the expertise to make that statement? I think that's what staff and our engineers do, is decide what's best for the district all around.
We approved that.
Yes, we did.
We approved
We
that.
approved this.
And we're asking now, do you want to move assessments of our pipe up in any way or fashion?
I would
That is the
request
question.
that staff review that possibility and bring us the pros and cons.
Okay.
But for the board to demand.
No, this isn't a
I
demand.
do not.
This is not a demand. It's how we want to treat this.
Go ahead, Jeff.
Jeff?
Mr. Chairman, when I saw this item on the agenda, I didn't, had no background on it, I didn't see any in the agenda packet. We've got a new GM starting, we hope, on Monday. I think Director Zerbuin is right. I'd like to get him on board. He can look at this and bring it to our work session on May 1st, and we can Deal with it then.
Formal section.
We'll have a business meeting too.
I just bring
Yes.
to you what was done in the last work session, and that's what brought, so.
Oh.
Okay, we will strike that from
If
the
that's okay
agenda.
with the rest of the board.
Do I hear anybody dissenting on scratching that from the agenda, the reordering of the CIP?
And moving it to May first. And
Just
moving,
scratching it from the
Leaving
agenda
it to
here.
Bo, the new manager, if he accepts.
I move to just scratch it from the
Okay.
agenda.
Good idea.
Budget for fiscal year 24-25.
Same thing.
Same thing, wait for the new man.
I've sent him a file of financial reports and stuff off Black Mountain, so
He's well versed on that right
he's
now.
working on it.
Yeah. Okay, we've got a response to the City of Billings proposed rate increase. Again, this is a proposed rate increase. Tom, you wanted that brought forward, so that is here.
Jeff got a question.
Jeff?
I'm waiting to hear what Tom
Oh,
is
that's how your
proposing.
hand go up,
I'm
sorry.
looking for it, I got my stuff in the wrong spot. On page 5, I know that's where it's, nope,
Of the city,
that's,
what are you having us look at,
that's where
Tom?
it looks at the peak factors is page 5.
yes, it's page 5 of 9, towards the bottom. It clearly says that max hour and max day peaking numbers have been adjusted. It says max day peaking hour of 2.6 from
It's page 5.
2017.
5.
5 of 9.
Yeah, on it, figure 3.
Towards the bottom, there's a big paragraph, a little tiny one at the bottom. The last 3 or 4 lines of the big paragraph clearly says that our peaking factors were taken from FY '22 and FY '19 respectively. The problem is the 26 max hour listed is not from either FY '22 or '29 that they reported to us. It's from 15.
Well, the current year is based on 2000, since 2017. Fiscal year 25 is based on 2017 and 2022 and 2019.
That's what it says, but the 2.6 peaking number comes from 2015 on the chart that Debbie Milling sent us last year in May. 2022 has a peaking number of 2.53. 2017 has a number of 2.69. Now, those are not what she's using. She is using one from 15, 2.6.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
I have a question for directors of you. So what do you think is necessary for us to do to preserve
We
our
need to get
attention?
clarification.
Let me finish my question. For us to preserve our legal negotiating ability.
First off, we have 30 days from receiving this to either agree or to start negotiations on something.
What day did we receive it?
April 1st.
Oh, so we got 13 days.
Right. And then, if we don't agree to it, we have 45 days, I believe it is by our contract, to work with the city to find a solution.
So do you have a motion to make?
I make a motion that we notify the city we reject this proposal because the numbers on page 5 are not consistent with the peaking numbers that she gave us. The 2.6 max day is from 2015, and she says it should be from whatever it was.
2017.
And it's not. If it's a typo, it's easy to correct. If the wrong
I'm gonna
number-
make a second, and I'd like to alter the motions with my second, if it's, maker of the motion accepts it. You know, I think we, need to send them a letter to reject because we wish to investigate the accuracy of some of the numbers reported there and preserve our ability to, understand those numbers.
and protect the interests of our rate customers. If that's acceptable, then I'd like to discuss the motion.
Yes.
Is that acceptable?
So the-
Jen, did you get it? You can roll the tape back and let's, okay. So here's the things I see that concern me. The projected flow growth rate.
The projected what?
Flow growth rate in table 3. They've got the Heights Water District growing at 2%, the city of Billings at residential at 0.5%, and Billings commercial at 0.5% for next fiscal year. Why? I don't see any evidence that we're gonna have projected flow growth 4 times as great as the rest of the community. The same for 26 and 27. You know, the harm is in the details, and you gotta look at that stuff. So I think the motion is well made. The other thing I'm concerned about, frankly, is the peaking, and what years are used, and whether those are appropriate years. And now I wanna open a collateral discussion if the chairman and the board will give me some slack. Because I had indicated, we have, there are things we can, I think the peak day and peak max drives a lot of cost, because you gotta plan for the biggest pump, and that's what drives the money, and the allocation of the money. If you can level those demands and reduce them, you can save a lot of money. And we've seen from this report then, as they're projecting, you know, at this point, 25% increases in 26 and 27. That's a lot of money.
That's right.
Very significant. So if we can take action this summer to reduce those maximum days and peak, we would be in a position to negotiate a better rate increase with the city of Billings if consolidation does not occur, and because they back out or whatever, and we need to protect the customers in the meantime while we still study. So I think it's entirely appropriate to do that. So my idea is, I'd like you to start thinking about it before we talk about it at the work session part, or maybe you want to put it on the agenda on May 1. But you know, we can, the biggest things we need to find out what time of day our peak hours are. Is there a pattern? I'd like the staff to bring that information to us. And I'd like,
Answer that, we've been told 4 AM to 7 is our peaking hours.
Okay, well, I didn't have that information. The board should have it, the public should have it. Let's bring that to us. It's in a solid form. You know, if there may be another peak in the afternoon as well. I don't know, but let's find the facts. If we can shave our peak hour by 25, 30, 40% by restricting irrigation at certain hours of the day, forbidding it by resolution, we could end up saving our customers a lot of money. It will cost them some convenience, and it will break old habits because they're not used to it. And it would require a lot of public education. But I think we need to put it on the table, because it'll be up to them to save their own money. The other thing we could do, very controversial, I know, but if you want to restrict maximum day demands, you could look at even not watering by address. That could have a big impact. It's happened in water shortages in the city in the past. We're not currently in a water shortage, but we could well be in a financial shortage. So I think I want to put that out there, that we need to look at it, talk about it, and then maybe implement it before the summer watering season gets big.
Josh,
We'll be trying to save our customers money. It'll be up to them if they want to save them.
Josh had a comment.
I'll have plenty of time to comment.
Go ahead.
Oh, I said, I had a brief discussion with Andrew with Raftellus this morning. He's dove into it. He did appreciate the fact that some of the comments that they had brought to the city last year, looks like they've kind of heeded as far as adjusting peaking factors, while there was still some other stuff that looks like could be changed a little bit, but, overall, it looks more of a inflationary adjustment rate with that, the 2.5, whatever it is. While there is still room to look at it more, biggest thing that we kinda came up with is the fact that having Bo start on Monday, get him in a room with Andrew, we can go through our rate study that we had, as well as this, kinda get him up to speed as well. And then if you guys wanna have Andrew, I mean, this business meeting on May 1st is already starting to pile up pretty heavy, so, if you guys wanna pick and choose what.
Well, how long is it gonna take him to come up with something? I mean, we authorized the contract, expenditure of money.
Right, and that's,
Didn't cost us anything last year because we didn't get to arbitration. I hope we don't get to arbitration this year. We have statement that our peaking factors are 2.6 and 3.59 respectively from 2022 and 2019. The 2.6, if it was from 22, would be 2.39. Off of the information that they gave us. So somewhere, it could be a simple typo. It very could. It could be a miscalculation, using 2.6 peaking number instead of 2.3, which would save us money.
Well,
And
I wanna preserve our legal rights, yeah. And then let lights a fire under the guy we've authorized already to spend $40,000 to get us something, and then I'd like the board to start thinking about taking some controversial steps to shave those peaks.
Now, this is a proposed rate increase for 25.
that's this year.
Yes.
The big ones are coming.
Right.
But if we can demonstrate we can shave those peaks, we're in better shape in 26 and 27.
Correct.
That's my point.
Yep, because, right now, they're changing by pennies right now. So, further discussion from the board? Pam?
I thought the board authorized Andrew to work with Jennifer, not to work after Jennifer. So I'm kinda confused why we don't have a report from him tonight. But so that's one issue. The other thing is, I think working with people is better. So rather than Bo working with Andrew, that's fine. But then I'd like to see maybe Bo, Andrew, and Jennifer come to the meeting on May 1st so that we can hear the information directly. Because it's silly to spend money with Andrew going through stuff if it's a typo. I mean, let's talk to the people that wrote it and let's get everybody in the same room.
Tom?
The reason Andrew isn't working with Jennifer is because the city refused to give Andrew the information which is required in the contract. Andrew, the district, had nothing. We kept asking, and you for one kept saying the city hasn't started a rate study. Well, now we have the results of a rate study with never being started. We have never been notified we've started this rate study, let alone been included in the study like the contract says they will. Our peaking numbers that we're looking at here went down drastically with the district's investment of Oxbow.
Can I?
You will get your turn,
Okay,
Pam.
sorry.
Hold on. Is there any other comments on this? Pam, go ahead now.
Okay, I would like to say, Tom, that's a false statement. I call, and just
We
because.
will not go back and
Well,
forth.
I'm just saying,
between-
I have
We
different.
will not go
Fine.
back and forth between
Okay.
board members saying one thing and another, okay?
Well, I will.
We're done.
I will, no,
Thank
Doug,
you.
I have other information that I'd like to present.
On what?
I talked to Jennifer this week and said, did you work with Andrew? And she said, I sent an email well, she originally sent it to Peyton and Andrew and didn't get a response. Then realized she sent it to Peyton and it never came back, so I assume his email is working. So then she sent it to Josh and Andrew. So she did make an effort to reach out and she did not get a response. So that's on us.
I don't know how that's on us. We've got the piece that she sent to us.
But she sent the email to them well in advance when she started,
The
and they
original
never
was sent to
responded.
Peyton and Doug, not Andrew.
Okay,
I
okay.
sent it-
Doug
I
never
sent it to
got it.
Andrew.
Mr. Point of order, we're way off the motion.
Yes, we are.
I'd like to get back to the motion. If there isn't any further board comment, perhaps we should ask for public.
Think board is over? Go ahead, Laura.
I'll just have a comment there. I think you're right. I think we need to wait for, it sounds from, with Josh's report that this might just be an inflationary thing, but, I am concerned about that peaking number that they said in 2015. So I would like to just, support the amendment and the motion.
Okay, Laura?
So I'll speak in support of the motion, but in the agenda packet, what we have is a summary memorandum from Jennifer, or to Jennifer, from staff. Did the county water district actually receive something? Because it says here, this is from staff.
Yeah. I missed that.
So have we actually even received a letter?
What page was that on?
It's on 37.
Yep, 1138.
So we may be premature in making a response if we haven't had something
Right here.
directed to us.
Can we get an email from her?
Yes.
Yeah, it's not, yeah,
I mean,
to them, not to us.
So I just requesting clarification.
I believe she sent the email to Doug on April 1st, and Doug forwarded it to the members of the
Yeah.
board.
And it was, basically, that said update the rate was from 297 up to 304 per thousand.
She sent you as the chairman of the board a copy of this.
And I forwarded on to all the board members.
So that's, I don't think we can take a risk that that's not noticed. So I
Right.
think my motion's still in order.
Right, thank you.
Can you repeat your motion once?
Tom's motion is amended, which is to basically send a letter to the city to preserve our legal rights based upon concerns we have with elements of the sum increase that we wish to investigate with them.
I think we should simply put the language with the peaking numbers.
Let's
and where
we leave it open, we can raise a bunch of them.
bring in more.
Okay. That was an amended, pardon?
That's the motion as amended.
That's, say, you want to vote on that? Like, do you want me to try and get him up to speed real quick, first part of next week, and then what are you thinking for a timeline to send that letter?
It's gotta be before May 1st.
Well,
She has to receive
Mr.
it.
Chairman, she sent it to you, I think you can draft a letter to respond tomorrow.
Just like everything else we've done.
Sorry.
Friggin' 2 weeks. Get it done tomorrow.
Certain mules get beat pretty hard, and I'm afraid you're in that category.
Okay, motion was amended.
That's just in general.
You heard the amendment.
It was a friendly amendment. to
Yeah.
All in favor of
We want more time to
the
study.
amended motion, please signify by saying aye.
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 Unanimous. Now we'll move back to the original motion as amended. You want to repeat your original motion? No need to, but it's the amended motion. All in favor of amended motion, please signify by saying aye.
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 Motion passes, and I will start a letter tomorrow. Not saying I'll finish it, but I will start it tomorrow.
Don't send it.
It just has to be pretty general, Doug, just, you know what, we got a new general manager coming on board,
Mhm.
and we'd like him to look over some of this stuff, and so we just like a little bit more time. And then we
Is
should
that
say,
requesting an extension? Didn't we have to do that, request an extension for response?
We just denied.
Whatever.
Last year, we accepted the first year rate and argued with the second year rate. And during the 45 days of negotiation, the city admitted that their second year rates were not accurate and needed adjustments.
Okay, line item 4 under new business, employment, employee retirement, which is on page 49. Well, I flip over to it. Actually, it's not on 49, it starts on 40, starts on 46. Josh, you wanna go over that with us?
Well, it all kinda comes down to, the allocations of how the plan is written and how those allocations are doled out. Currently, with a retirement plan is written, it has the 1,000-hour and last day requirements. And when we've had an employee in 2002 that retired, another employee in 2002 that quit and went somewhere else, and then an employee last year that quit. This was all previous to the last day of the year. So when their disbursements were handed out, they were also included the profit sharing. Problem is we have, especially with Peyton's, there was a letter sent that said, to a census that said, hold this back. They didn't, and now we're in the mess we're in. I guess it's up to you guys how you want to go forward with that.
Yes, sir, Chairman. I prepared a substitute resolution. I'd like to hand it out to the board and the members of the public.
Would you like to name one of them?
No, this is, there's some for the press and the public. You know, this is a resolution that, based on, well, the action items, I'll just go over to the board found out that the hired vendor did not operate the accordance in the terms of the contract they signed. And rather than making attempts to do that correct now, and without discussion with this board, they worked, and I don't know with who, to present a resolution that basically would absolve them of their mistakes, absolve them of their failure to comply with their contract, and absolve them from the effort they to recover the funds that they improperly distributed, because proper processes were not followed by them. You know, I think this board is tasked with making sure that our vendors do what they contract to do and not reward them when they fail. And the proposed resolution they brought would reward them for their failure. And I am not going to vote for that. It's time that these people that contract with this district realize that they have got to live up to the terms of that contract, deal with this board in a proper professional fashion, you know, and if they're not prepared to do that, have their contract terminated. But I think they need the opportunity to fulfill their contract, so this resolution directs the chairman of the board to contact our lawyer. This is to make directors reviewing happy, to ask him to contact them, telling them to do their job under the contract and resolve it, return the funds to the district. And I would also, because they have not, I think it's inappropriate that the profit sharing money, I had a profit sharing plan in my small business, and I know a lot of the other small business owners up and down Main Street do as well. Those funds normally go out after the year end is closed, payroll is reconciled, year end books are reconciled, You know, you figure out where you're at, and then you send the check over, and then they're distributed. I move that this would resolve, change that so that those funds that are being sent there on a bi-weekly basis now go to a reserve account instead, so that they can be properly accounted for at the end of the year, which they have not been the last 2 years. And then finally, I would like a report from the general manager no later than next Tuesday, confirming that the reserve account has been set up and established, and that processes are in place that no funds will be distributed to a census with the next payroll, that is April 26th. So that's the heart of the motion. I move adoption of this resolution.
Second. Moved in second. By Frank, discussion, Tom, go ahead.
Your resolution only talks about a census, but our administration fees are quite extensive with Randall Hurley. Well, Randall Hurley is who prepared this amendment on the census. So I think we need to include Randall Hurley as a named person along with the census. The email chain that we saw from Susie talks about a census, but the amendment came from Randall Hurley.
So should they both be?
They
That's-
should
that's
both be
because-
liable to do the administration that they're claiming and charging us to do.
Okay, we have a
and not-
clarification here.
not just-
Josh?
It came from Randall Hurley because Randall Hurley is the, how do you say it, the administrator, is that, am I saying that right? They oversee everything else. A census is the bookkeeper, record keeper, so they do all the payments and disbursements, and then you have Fisher, who is
The
the
investment.
338 fiduciary, is that right? That does the investing. When I asked that question also, if it could all be done under one roof, Fisher doesn't do that because that they do the investments. I believe there's like a checks and balance system that has to happen. So you could have the administrator and the bookkeeper be one, and then the investment team be the other. So
So who messed up was Randall Hurley?
a census is the one that, no, a census is the one that,
They cut the
Okay.
check.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, I'm gonna suggest that I amend this draft then. I'm just gonna eliminate the name, and I'll say an employed vendor. That way the lawyer can sort out which the proper party is.
There you go.
Is that okay?
I hate to name one party when the other party is the one doing the reconciliation. They're both at fault, in my opinion.
What was the term you were inserting there? To force-
Employee vendor.
The employed vendor, the contracted vendor. I'm gonna do better, contracted vendor or vendors. And then in the second whereas, added rather than making attempts to comply with the contract and return funds to the plan as provided for in the contract, the same language, vendor, contracted vendor or vendors, acting through blah, 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 it would appear to
Resolve.
absolve
Yeah.
contracted vendor vendors from responsibility, blah, blah, blah. And and then in the resolution, number 1, take steps necessary to force contracted vendor or vendors to abide by the terms of the contract. And then in number 2, that would suspend the transfer of the 5% funds designated as profit sharing,
Now we're gonna do-
which are currently distributed. Just take out the reference to whatever company and just delete that, and instead transfer those funds to the reserve account. And then also that same deletion in number 3. And I will turn this over to Josh and Jennifer if it passes as amended. So
And
those would be the amendments to make it broad enough, and then the lawyer can sort it out.
But we have one other point, is that even the match the district makes at 50% of the employee contribution. They are not eligible to get that if they haven't worked 1,000 hours or worked the last day of the calendar year. And that is also been distributed. So it isn't just the 5% in the matching fund that was distributed wrong. It was the match, the 50% match per dollar was not supposed to be.
How do I need to reword this then, Tom?
It's, both of them were qualified if they hadn't worked 1,000 hours.
I think it covered it, where they did, where you said did not comply with the contract,
Yeah.
because that's in the contract.
So
when you
is it
talk
just
about
the
maybe
employee
next time.
benefit plan and I could delete profit sharing and that would correct it?
No, they're all together.
Yeah, you could remove.
Well, the plan would include them both.
Yeah, it does.
Okay,
Long as
so
you're-
then anything that's out of compliance in the contract would be covered
Right.
if I made that deletion.
A point of order here. It was my understanding that during a board meeting, we eliminated the profit sharing and moved to increase the match.
We wanted, at least I did, wanted to make that amendment. And Haley Grieve from Randall Hurley was here and said the best time to do that would be in September, because you make the change, then you have to give the employees 60 days notice of the change, so that it could take effect the following year. And I agreed to that because I didn't want to take benefits away from the employees, and they were agreed that this was their annual package.
And there was an
Next year's
administration
package
cost
could
to
be
do
changed.
that also.
That was in a work session, not a business
Not a
meeting.
business session,
Okay.
so it wasn't.
It was a steep
asked.
administration fee to redo that.
Right.
So one other comment. If we were to set this up in a reserve account, rather than paying it into the employees' investment accounts, they will lose the interest.
But that's the contract.
What's that?
That's the contract.
That's what the contract is now.
The district should have been following the contract all along. So it's both a management failure and a company failure. So the other thing is.
Go
under-
ahead, Pam.
Oh, I'm sorry. Under two, we have the treasurer's gonna set up the account, but we don't have a treasurer. I mean, Laura was the treasurer, but the board doesn't act like that. I'm assuming it's the management that's gonna set that up?
As the board directs the general manager.
Right,
It's in number
And-
2 to be immediately set up by the treasurer.
right.
Oh,
Can we just eliminate by the treasurer?
Yes,
yeah.
okay.
Is that meeting for me, sorry, be setting that up or no?
Well, you guys work it, I mean, that's a day-to-day thing, so you just work it out with Lois. Who does it?
Any other comments on changes?
Okay, I'm gonna reread this to you, okay?
Okay.
Can we give him more than one day to report in item 3?
Oh, what was coming on the 22nd and got no later than the 23rd? Yeah, basically 24 hours.
Yeah.
8 hours.
Oh, he doesn't have
He's
to
a-
sleep.
He's gonna be a busy boy, so what do you think would be appropriate?
The
Member of the
26th,
public,
the-
24th, 25th?
25th.
Okay, I'm gonna read this. And then
Got a question?
if it needs a little more work and.
What about the fees regarding a savings account if we do it with our local bank or whatever? There'll be fees with it right off the bat, every month.
That's gonna be a manager decision, so let me read the resolution if you may.
If they refuse these requests, then number 3 would be removed. Do we really need number 3 until they agree 1 and 2?
No,
Do we need
it's gonna
one?
take 1 and 2, 1 and 2 is gonna take some time. We need to stop the flow of money right away,
That's true.
so why it's a separate item. Whereas it has come to the attention of the Board of Directors that the employee benefit plan administered under a contract
By contract.
with vendor, under a contract with contracted vendor, with a contracted vendor or vendors, has not been operated in accordance with the terms of that contract. And whereas, rather than making attempts to comply with the contract and return funds to the plan as provided for in the contract, the contractor, vendor, or vendors, acting through district staff and without any prior discussion with the Board of Directors, has presented a document to the district that would appear to absolve the contracted vendor or vendors from responsibility to the district to recover funds that were improperly distributed to former employees in violation of the terms of the plan. And whereas it is important that the district, acting through the power invested in the Board of Directors, assert its rights under the contract with those who it engages under contract, and should enforce those rights on behalf of the customers of the district, so that they do not continue to suffer financial harm. Now therefore be it resolved by the Board of Directors of the County Water District of Billings Heights, Yellowstone County, Montana as follows. 1. The Board directs the Chairman of the Board to contact the attorney representing the district to review and advise the Board on the steps necessary to force the contracted vendor or vendors to abide by the terms of the contract, and direct the attorney to contact them and direct them to abide by the contract. 2. That the Board directs the General Manager, acting through the staff, to immediately suspend transfer of employer funds, which are currently distributed bi-weekly, and instead transfer those funds to a reserve account to be immediately set up. Retain those funds for the disposition following the calendar year end after proper reconciliation of the funds of the account in accordance with the terms of the employee benefits plan in effect under the budget of the next fiscal year, as is typical in most employee benefit plans maintained by small businesses like those in the district. 3. The Board directs the General Manager to provide a report to the Board by email no later than April 25th, 2024, confirming that the necessary reserve account has been established and no employer funds for the employee benefit plan will be distributed with payroll to occur on April 26, 2024, or thereafter, without the advance approval of the Board of Directors. And that's standard, passed by, signed by, and attested.
Boy, Jeff, that number 3, sure is a one short time frame.
Well, Josh can do that, he's the acting general manager.
We're just gonna set up a reserve account.
4 days. You go to your accounting software and you create a new account number.
You just move that on.
And then it appears there, and then you just have to have the discipline not to access those funds. They'll be held for later disposition.
You follow?
So are we leaving the money in our account?
We're
Or are we
setting
creating a
up-
whole new bank account for this?
No, we're not paying the vendor anything additional. They owe, the retirement account is secured there. So, but we're not paying them anything from the employees or from the district.
This language doesn't require a new bank account. It requires,
It's just
it's a
district
bookkeeping entry.
contribution that will be held.
So the money, the funds will still stay in our payroll account?
Just
No, they'll stay in the,
Special.
they will stay in the new special account that is not the payroll account.
So we'll have to create a new account.
That's correct. That's exactly what
Did I
it
not
is.
just ask that?
Not a bank
Okay,
account.
so,
Uh,
going
I-
back to my original question, what about the fees that come along with that new bank account? That will
not-
be
There
then
won't be
taken
a
out
bank
of
account.
They're
It's
saying-
an accounting account.
They're saying
It's just a,
different.
it's a
It's a
sub-account.
different number.
It'll
It's like a
say-
new reserve
It's a
account.
bookkeeping entry. That's
Yeah,
all it
not-
is. It's
I
not
was
a new
confused. I
bank.
thought you meant a new bank account, like actual separate.
So the funds would stay in the payroll account?
The funds would stay in the
actual payroll account
But
at
they will be
FIB?
labeled
But they're-
reserve for retirement, or
They're
whatever.
I'm talking
earmarked.
the actual bank account. Our
Yes.
actual bank account, the funds would stay in the actual bank
No.
account?
Yes.
Yes.
That's not my intention here. I would not
Okay,
put them
see,
in the
there is
payroll
confusion.
account. I would put them in the general funds of the district in a sub-account there.
That's what I thought this was doing. Am I off
So it's
base?
separate from the payroll.
Correct.
Right. You just get a
If
new
it
account
hasn't-
number and that's
Until
where
we
it
get
goes.
it corrected, we're not gonna dedicate it to payroll, because that's not what the contract requires now.
Right.
Well, the confusion that Jen has is that the retirement money is paid out of the payroll account. It doesn't come out of our general checking account. So she's saying if we're just creating a new GL account, GL reserve account, the actual dollars can still sit in the payroll account.
You move to the general.
They don't even need to hit the payroll account. That's my,
But it all comes out of payroll.
no, it doesn't.
In
It's
December.
employer match.
In our accounting program, it all comes out of payroll. Like,
How does the employee match get in there, or the district match get in there then?
it all comes out of the payroll account.
Well, it just doesn't go in. You
just
put
doesn't
in
go in
zeros
there.
there.
It,
And
it
then
would, it,
You
it's gonna get,
calculate what it would have been, and then you put it in the reserve account.
and it would have been, it will get moved in December when it's paid, because it will be paid in December, right? Or after
It's
the-
January, February, when
Right.
they get it.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Chair, you know, it's really confusing right now, and what I'd like to consider is, let the general manager get on board first, rather than make the demands. It's not gonna go away within a week, okay, the problem. So I'm saying that thank you, Director Esselman, for putting this forward, but I would like to see, what, the restrictions we got on the general manager and the payroll accounts, to table this until the general manager can see what we're looking at.
The problem mainly is that there'll be two paychecks with the districts going into these two companies.
That's correct. And that way we continue where we're at this point, and then go back to these two companies and tell them we're gonna sue them.
You know, Mr. Chairman,
Go ahead, Jeff.
you know, this is the result of sloppy work by these contractors. Sloppy work.
Understood?
And I don't think they deserve to have another dime come their way until they get their work corrected. You know, we've got to stop. We've got to set higher standards, expect conformance, and stop rewarding bad performance, and I want it to stop now.
I agree.
I'd like to move to closed discussion after the public.
Public
I
discussion.
have a quick question. I kind of get what Jennifer's saying. Is it possible for her to make some kind of a savings account with these funds until you decide whether you're gonna put them in with this new company or this old company or whatever? Because she's gonna have a payroll amount of, say, $50,000, and part of it you're saying is reserve or whatever. She's,
Part of it
kind of-
is profit sharing.
yeah, but that's what I mean. So would it be easier for her to put it in a savings account with that title of reserve account for whatever? I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there.
You probably have to pay for an account.
And I think the cost of that would be relatively minor versus the legal costs we'll incur if we have to sue them to recover the funds.
Yeah.
Well, and then those funds would all, you could find one that pays in on that account also. That money's, because right now with that money being deposited,
At the end of the year,
if the way it's set up now, with that money being deposited, it's going into the employees' accounts and it's being invested right away.
Mhm.
So
I see what you're saying.
the employee, that money is being
But we don't
put to
know what
work.
the true profit sharing will be. And so what if there is no profit sharing? Do we go
And that's
back
where-
and pull it out of the?
That's where, like Tom says, clean it up and just make it the 10% match, and then you don't have this issue of profit sharing, and it simplifies.
it's not just the profit sharing money that the district puts in. If you look at the amendment
Administration fees too.
on page 1, allocations of service required for employer matching contributions, that's number 1. In the old, unamended, item C, which clearly says, in order to share in the allocation of the employer matching contribution, a participant is required to be employed by the employer for at least the day of applicable period with the last, 1,000 hours of service in the last day of the year. We have the same thing on page 2, number 15, allocation services required for non-electric contribution. To receive the district money, the employee was required to work 1,000 hours and be employed on the last day of the year. So by not putting that funds into each person's account, we haven't taken anything away. We are just following the way it was supposed to be set up originally and ensuring that. Yes, you're gonna lose some investment, yes. But that's the way it was set up originally too. So we haven't taken anything away. We are not gonna allow more ill use of our funds.
It's been managed improperly, internally and externally.
Great.
Is there anything in the contract about cancellation of the contract for failure to perform by the contractor? Is there a set of procedures on how you close out the account?
We'll let, that's all for the lawyer to dig into and provide us advice.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm not even gonna attempt to try to find it.
No. That stuff is written, I've had to read those agreements, they're difficult to comprehend, even with the legal law degree.
Okay,
So we're not accepting this change, the corrective amendment, are we?
No, this is
No.
a substitute. That
Thank you.
resolution never even got entered.
And they wanted to charge us money to do this too.
I'm sorry, it really is kind of humorous.
Can I call the question?
we'll take a, we'll take.
Oh, okay, no.
We'll take
I'll
a
just-
vote on,
No, I won't call the question.
on this
The
resolution.
chairman can do what he wants to do.
That's a lot easier. Roll call vote, go ahead.
Go, Jeff,
Aye.
Frank,
Yes.
Tom,
Aye.
Doug,
Yes,
Pam,
Yes.
me.
Nay.
so that is 2, 4, 5 yeas and 1 nay.
Mr. Chairman, I will clean up this typing tonight or in the morning and then email it to Josh with a copy to you and both.
Okay. Very good. Okay,
And I guess staff can start looking for a savings account.
so, under announcements, it will be a business session on May 1st at 9 o'clock rather than a work session. And
So you gonna be there on Monday, Meg?
It looks like it.
Okay.
How's the campaign going?
And the next board meeting will be May 15th at 6 o'clock.
Director, Ewald, what day do we have the, MOA?
What?
with the,
MOU.
The MOU meeting with the
It's
city.
May 22nd, is that correct?
Yeah, Monday.
Monday, April 22nd.
April 22nd.
Oh, it's not May 22nd, it's this April 20.
Monday.
With the city consolidation.
At Belknap,
What's that?
10 o'clock.
On April 22nd, not May 22nd.
Correct.
Correct.
Okay.
Go ahead.
May 15th, I will not be here, but I will see if Susie can be able to make it.
Okay.
My daughter's sweet 16.
Congratulations.
Okay, with that, meeting will adjourn.